Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Stitches and Stencils, which is a series I do with Sandy and MK over on their channels, and the links for their channels will be down below. I'm also participating in Series 15 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. The sketch today is this one from Ti, and I apologize, I'm not going to say the last name correctly, so I'm just going to not even say it, but I'm using a bunch of some assemblage required products, including the stitching ruler that MK has designed, these wood veneer butterflies, and this wood veneer floral camera. And I will include the social media links for Ti down below. If there are any, I don't actually know, I'll have to look those up, but I will include them down below if there are any, as well as the links to the products that I am using today. So I am using the stitching guide, and I was inspired to do kind of a large border around the outside, which normally I go with a really tiny border, but in this case, I thought I would do a large border, and I ended up doing two sides. You can see here I am looking at doing all four sides, like going all the way around, and then I ended up just deciding to do the two sides, not the top and the bottom. And the reason for that is because I felt like what I was going to attempt to do here was probably best if I didn't try to overdo it. I'm going with a diagonal stitch that she's got on this stitching guide, and I am going to do a French knot in one set of the holes, so the outer set of holes. And I'm using a navy blue embossing embroidery floss, not embossing floss, embroidery floss. And the photo is of me and my mom and my son. This was on our last trip to Idaho in May. We were able to take my mom out to choose a new chair for her crafting area, and then we took her to an outdoor mall where we were able to go and have some lunch together. And this was the first time that my husband and I, he was there too, but he was parking the car during this photo. It's the first time my husband and I had taken her out since we took her out in November when she fell and broke her ankle. So we were all a little bit, I don't think she was a little bit concerned about it because she's been out several times with my brother and my niece, but it's the first time she's been out with us, so my husband and I were like, we're just crossing our fingers we don't bring her back broken this time. So, yeah, that's how that went. And she had a great time. We really enjoyed it. My son really enjoyed it as well, and she enjoyed being with all of us that day. So anyway, I have done the stitching. The outside has a French knot in it. I did not show you how to do a French knot. I can put a link to a video on that shows you how to do that if you're interested in that. It's not my video, but I will put a link down below for you in case you are. And then I pulled out a bunch of scrap papers from my scrap bin, and I'm inking them up with some Juniper Mist Catherine Pooler ink. I was trying to remember the name of it. This is the Juniper Mist one. I am going to use that stencil that you see on the left hand side, and I'm going to use some, I think it's called Stone Blue Catherine Pooler ink, and that is why I couldn't remember the Juniper Mist one, because I was trying to remember which one I used for which. So I'm using the darker ink to go around the outsides of my papers, and then I'm going to use the lighter ink for the stencil work. And since this is Stitches and Stencils, I have now done some stitching on the layout and some stenciling on the layout, and I'm really happy with the way that it came out. This is the first time, I think, maybe first or second time I've done a hand stitch for this series. Normally I use my sewing machine, but I was really inspired to try the stitching guides. I used them earlier this week on Thursday for my Paw Your Way Into Our Hearts hop, which is a pet themed hop, and I did a different stitch for that, and I really liked the way it came out. And I know my stitching looks a little bit messy from far away, and that's because of the French knots. They're not I don't know, they're not perfect. If I try to do them really tight, it kind of like would rip through the paper. So I kind of had to leave them a little bit on the looser side, and I'm okay with that. I just like the way that it looks. It adds a different texture and a different kind of element as a border. So that is my version of a border. And then in the sketch, there are several vertical layers of paper underneath the photograph, or what would be the photograph. And so I am just placing several layers of paper as well as this green film strip, and I'm liking the way that that's looking. So I just used my liquid glue to kind of tack all of those pieces together. They are not completely glued down at this point, I don't believe, but I will go back and do that. And then I did audition a couple of different acrylic pieces from Color Cast Designs. I'm going to use this one that says Fantastic. I did have one that said, I don't know, magical something. This day was magical or something like that. I considered that, but I really liked the way this Fantastic looked. I like the color of it. And then I'm going to stamp the word day underneath it. And I'm kind of having to use a stamp that says today on it with a checklist underneath. And all I did was put a post-it note over the pieces I did not want inked up. I inked up the letters I wanted, and I pulled the post-it note off and then stamped it, because I didn't want the to part of today, and I didn't want the little list that was underneath. And I just wanted the word day, and I like it nestled here between the F and the T, the D centers on the two letters. I think it looks really nice, and it tucks in there nice. I am going to do a little bit of stamping in addition to what I've already done with this set of stamps from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I will put links to the products that are still available down below if that is something of interest to you. And this stamp that I'm using, it says Jampacked with love, or Jampacked full of love, something like that. So Fantastic Day, Jampacked with love. And I really like the way that that looked. The set that I'm using from Elizabeth Craft, it goes with a mason jar set, and that's why it says Jam-Packed, is kind of their play on words. And then I am using a label stamp in that same stone blue that I used for the background, and then I'm going to stamp inside of that another stamp from the Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I think it says these memories make me smile or something to that effect. It's not on the screen at the moment because I'm cutting it, so I can't read it. Oh, memories that make us smile is what it says. I'm sorry, I don't have the layout in front of me while I am actually voicing this, and I actually put this layout together a little bit ago. So now I'm pulling out these beautiful wood veneer butterflies and that beautiful wood veneer camera. I really like how the camera kind of nestles in above the title, and so that's where that's going to go. I think it looks really cute there. And then I'm going to have those little butterflies kind of fluttering around the upper right of the photograph and the lower left to give me a horizontal design. And that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget there are links down below for 30 days of sketches so you can see everyone playing along. The link to Sandie and MK's channel. I'm not sure that MK's got a video this month for us, but I hope that Sandie does, so go and give them a little bit of love as well. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Sometimes it takes me a bit, but I do respond to all of them, and I do appreciate all of the messages you guys leave. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again real soon with another video. Bye-bye.